For so many people, 2020 has been a mess. Let's just throw that out there. The pandemic has destroyed our economy and sent unemployment up. Social unrest surrounding race relations has exposed feelings many thought were in the past. And the election is as divisive as any we've seen. Put it all together, and we have a rise in people dealing with mental health issues.
As the pandemic has continued, and as we've now gone through the summer, I'm definitely seeing an increase in stress and in anxiety, and then with, I think, the social unrest compounding the pandemic, once again seeing an uptick in stress and anxiety.
Definitely in anxiety, and especially for those who were previously suffering from anxiety, definitely those levels are skyrocketing. I also think that due to the hopelessness associated with the racial unrest, that we're seeing lots of depression as well, especially in minoritized people.
We spent some time talking with Shelton Young, who's a clinical social worker, and Dr. David Gutterman, who's a psychologist with Cone Health. Dr. Gutterman says the events of this year have really taken a toll on couples and families.
I think it's intensified some of the tension that sometimes communication and tension within families, with extended families, particularly if there are people of different minds about the social unrest and the and political issues going on. That's created a sense almost of isolation and fear, and people are kind of hunkering down and avoiding each other. So there are a number of fronts on which people are having to try to address their emotional state.
But when we talk about trauma, we understand that even when the stressor is removed in a stressful situation, you should somewhat be able to go back to your equilibrium, your baseline. But in trauma, even when the stressors are removed, the stress response system is still overly activated. And so that is what I'm seeing in African Americans. And so this is really traumatic.
Young says that trauma is driving the depression he's seen in his Black clients. He helps lead a group therapy session on social media for Black people who have historically been underserved in the mental health care space.
And so when we think about the people that are being most traumatized, most marginalized, that is often, coupled with economical situations where people just cannot afford therapy. And so I joined to eliminate that barrier so that accessing mental health care can be free. It's just literally joining an online platform, clicking a button, and you get to talk to a therapist.
Both men say part of their job helping people navigate through what's happening in the world is giving them permission to feel how they feel without guilt or shame, and to figure out a path to grow from where they are, one person at a time.
To say these are important things to be talking about, not something just to kind of hold in or feel guilty about, or even if there's anger and frustration, that really being encouraging to people to both be in touch with what their own experiences are, and then encouraging them to then explore, to go out, to understand.
I'm a firm believer that growth and comfort cannot coexist. In order to grow, we have to be made uncomfortable. Also, there is no accountability in our zones of comfort.
Helping you out of your comfort zone in black and white. Tracy Clemens, Fox 8 News.